I was sitting at home wondering what I could make for the next HRED TV video. I was reading the news and saw an article about how, due to COVID-19, the Bank of Canada lowered their overnight interest rate by 50 basis points to 0.25%, and I don't know about you, but I don't know what the heck any of that means. I decided to consult the local experts in my house. Hi, Pete. Pete, can you tell me why... No. Can you tell me why the Bank of Yeah, okay, if I rub your belly, can I ask you? Can you tell me why the Bank of Canada sets their overnight interest rates? Never mind. Hi, Rosie. I have a question for you. Why does the Bank of Canada set an overnight interest rate? Wow, thanks, Rosie. That's really helpful.
So, what exactly does Rosie mean when she says that? The prime rate is the rate set by banks to use as a basis for their lending rates. So, for example, the interest rate that would be on a mortgage. Whereas the overnight rate is set by the Bank of Canada to basically set a policy for those banks. A basis point is 1/100%. So basically 0.5% or 0.5% is 50 basis points. A full percent would be 100 basis points. Right now, between self-isolation and so many people being out of work, our economy is suffering. So the Bank of Canada lowered their overnight interest rate to 0.25% in order to regulate the prime rates at the banks and to make lending more appealing to consumers. COVID-19 is just one example of why the Bank of Canada would change the overnight rate. Another example would be the housing market. So if the cost of housing is blowing through the roof, the Bank of Canada might up their overnight rate to put pressure on the banks to raise their prime rate. That in turn makes lending a little bit less attractive or even less available to consumers. So to wrap up, prime rate is set by the banks, the overnight rate is set by the Bank of Canada, the overnight rate affects the prime rate. Any questions? Okay, so a quick wrap up. Quick wrap up. Okay, so to wrap up. to wrap up. Okay, so to wrap up, the. So to wrap.